What's going on YouTube? It's Dark Lord Destro. Now I'm going to make a video about how to create teams for online purposes only. Okay? Now before you do any hacking, I always tell people have a plan before you hack anything. Write things down on a paper, on a piece of paper. Are you going to create a team for this particular league and their criteria? Are you going to create a team for yourself? You're going to create a team to replicate the NFL, either in the past or in the current. Whatever your plan. Excuse me. Whatever your plan is, have it written down on paper first. That's just my personal opinion. I don't have it written down anymore because I've been doing this thing for years. I can keep it all in my head, but if you're just starting off, I would highly encourage you to write things down on paper. Write down your plan on what you want to do because you don't want to get into a situation to where you're down 4, 5, 6, 7 steps down the road, and then you made a mistake. You forgot to save somewhere. Therefore, you have to backtrack and in most cases had to start all the way from the very beginning from scratch. When you're dealing with this hexing, because for one, it's tedious. Two, any small thing can make the file corrupt. So anyhow, before we get started, what I encourage you guys to do is to go and turn your auto save off. So we're gonna go to options, load save, we're gonna auto save. Okay, mine is already turned off, but you want to make sure that yours is off. Auto save needs to be off. Okay? From that point, you want to go to save settings. Select your hard drive, save your settings. Alright? You want to save your settings. Okay? Now, what I have right here is an old SFL file. And what I'm going to do is, I've got 20 created guys. I'm going to have all 20 guys basically put all 20 guys, created guys, onto a team. This is a process on how you do it. First thing you want to do is go to teams, manage, edit teams, and of course I already have the 11 created players on the team. And I'm about to have the other 9. So, this is how you do it. Go options, load save roster, save on your flash drive. Okay, once you've done that, you want to go back to quick game, go to teams, manage, edit team, keep it on the screen. So keep this screen on your TV. Now take your flash drive out and take it to the computer. Let's go over here to the editor. Okay, right here it says rebuild a roster file for offline purposes or offline mode. Remember, this is online, so you don't want to hit yes. You want to press no. So do that, press no. Okay, come to the screen. Just go over to your box here. The first one, you use the first team, so that's Dragons. Okay, so right here, you have all the players that are on your team currently. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this. Let's go back just for one moment. Let's go back to the screen that has our players. Okay, as you can see, there's 2 golds, 3 silvers, and 6 bronzes. All right, now you can do it like this. You can either change all your golds and silvers, or you can change your silvers and bronzes. In this case, into the process I'm about to show you here. Because basically what you're doing is musical chairs. And so here we go. Let's go back to the editor. And remember, keep that on your screen while you're doing this. So you look at Broderick Oakenshield. Okay, he's a silver. Broderick Oakenshield, Cedric Trevelyan, and Greg Corky. So what I want to do is I'm going to change those guys' tiers all to gold. I'm not changing anything else except for their tiers. Whoops, he's already gold. Wrong person. Okay. Now the remaining bronze guys is those 6 guys. Let's just go back real quick to show you. Those 6 bronze spots: Dominique Porter, T.J. Greenwood, Zach Zulli, Altorius Revan, Boswick, Daniel Garcia. Let's go back to the editor. Now we want to change those guys' tiers into gold. Remember, right now, by changing their tier, by doing it this way, you're not changing anything with their stats at all. If you look at their stats will reflect their original color. Right now, all we're doing is changing the tier for this purpose. It's 3 more left. Just changing all the bronze guys from bronze to gold. One more person. Okay, once you've done that step, now you want to save it. Okay, from this point, you want to take the flash drive out of the computer and go back to the Xbox. Okay, get out of here, go to options, load save, load, put the flash drive, load. And notice we now have more than 2 golds. We have more golds. Look at it. You see no other players. It's all golds. Now, granted, you can't see every one of them, and I'm gonna show you. They're on your team. So you go to team, manage team, depth chart. Look, they're all on your team. See all those golds? They're still on your team. They're just all gold players. Now, let's go to team, manage, edit. As you can see, now those silvers and those bronze spots are all available. There's no spots on there. But like I just showed you a second ago, they're still on your team. So now you want to go and use these spots to select the other created guys you have on your team. So let me just go through each of these guys here and get these guys on the team. And as I was saying a minute ago about having a plan, you want to make sure, especially if you're creating a team for NFL, either current or up to date, what I like to do is I like to have the 20 creative spots. I like to reserve those for guys whose names are not in the game's database. So if your guy's first and last name or both are, and or both are not in the game, make him a creative player. If you have a guy whose first and last name is in the game database, just either reprogram a legend guy or reprogram a generic guy. That's the simplest way to do it. So a Robert Griffin, a Tony Romo, a Terrell Owens, someone with a name who's in the game, just reprogram a generic or a legend guy, and then you're done. You don't gotta go through the steps. But reserve the 20 creative spots for guys' names that are not in the game. right now I'm just going through to make sure I have all the created players on the team. Alrighty, so now I have all 10 players created. I'm sorry, all 20 created players on the team. So I just go through the motions. Start. Now, as you can see, look at it. Alrighty. Now, let's go to teams. Let's go to edit player. Now, here's what you need to do. Here's the method I do. While I scroll through these names real fast, my eyes are looking at that logo. See where the position is on the top? HB to the left of it has a dragon logo. Okay, if I see a logo on the player, that tells me he is on the team already. If he's not, that means he's not on the team. Therefore, I have to do that step over again. And the fact is that I do this so that it assures me that before I take that final step of turning guys into generics to fit them on my team, I want to make sure they're on a team first. Once again, I do not want to backtrack and have to do things all over again. So as I scroll through this fast, keep an eye on that dragon logo. If you see a player that doesn't have a dragon logo on that right there, then that means that they're not on the team. Here we go. Going back. Okay, now we've determined that all 20 players, all 20 created players are now on the team. Okay? One thing I just want to double check here, teams manage depth chart. As you can see, they're on your team. Okay? They're on your team. Because basically what you're doing is you're playing musical chairs. So let's say, for example, okay. Let's say, for example, let's just say you're messing around. Not only do you want to use 20 created guys on your roster, on your team, but also you want to use some legend guys that are on your team as well. Okay, you just do the same steps. It's just longer, but you just use the same steps because basically what you're doing is you're playing musical chairs. As you can see, you still see true generic guys in the game, but for example, let's look at like cornerbacks. You can see it's all created guys. All four cornerbacks are filled by created guys. You know, your safeties, both spots, the starter and the backup, filled by created guys. Okay, of course, I didn't have any linemen, so therefore they're all generics. But if I wanted to take some legend guys and place them on the team, and then I did the same technique, change their tiers just to fit them on the team, that's what you're doing. All you're doing is you're phasing out the true generics in the game. If you want to do that route, that's up to you. Okay? With the new editor, you don't have to. Alrighty? Hope I didn't lose you there. Alright, so now we're done. We have all 20 created guys on the team. Now, let's go to options. Load save. Save roster. Save on the flash drive. Okay? Now let's take the flash drive to the computer. Make sure you close this out. Close this out before you do anything, because basically this is like the old file still up there. So you want to close that out. And then now you want to load this up with the newest file you just saved. Of course, you say no. Alrighty. There's your team. Now, as you can see, you see all these players, all these stars are on your team. All 20 created guys are on your team. But remember, the game only recognizes 11 stars, which means you're going to have to change 9 of these players to generics. Okay? It does not matter. It does not matter the color of the star. No matter if it's gold. You can have 11 gold. You can have 5 gold, 6 silvers. You can have all silvers. You can have all bronzes. Does not matter. You must have 11 stars. You can't. I mean, you're allowed 10 or 11, but don't have 12 or more stars. Don't have 9 or less stars. You must have 10 or 11 stars. Okay. So once again, as I said it before, it does not matter the color of the star. Just have 11. So you can just go through here, and it's up to you which one you want to change to change it to a non-star. So I'm going to choose the first. Well, I got 20, so I'm going to choose the first 9 players I see. I just go in here. I'm changing them from whatever their tier is, gold, silver, bronze. I'm going to change it and give them none. Okay. Actually, let me stop right here. Let me just pause for one moment and show you another step. Okay. Now, let's say you're at this point here. Let's just start. Let's go back to Porter. Let's change him into a gold. Okay. Change it back to the original tier because something just popped in my head as I was doing this. Okay. Let's say, okay, out of these 20 guys, okay, we leave it the way it is. As you can see, Porter's numbers, if you remember, he was originally a bronze. And you go over to his attributes, his numbers, if you look at them, they reflect a bronze player. Now, what you can do, the simplest, fastest way for me to do it, and for you as well, you can go to Tools, go to Global Editor. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you. But basically, you can go to Apply SFL Settings. And what that will do is that will give wherever your tier is, a gold, silver, bronze, it will give him those numbers. So if he used to, so Dominique Porter, he used to be a bronze cornerback. He's now in gold. If I use the SFL settings, apply SFL settings, it's going to give him gold cornerback numbers or stats. You know, so basically you can scroll down here, and if you wanted to, you can select every single player down here, make them a gold, silver, and bronze. Hit that apply SFL settings, and every single player that you selected, no matter if he's originally a created player or he's um, a generic player, if you change his tier to a gold, silver, and bronze, and if you give him abilities, it's going to change those numbers. Alrighty? That's up to you. That's the one fast way to do it. Okay, another way you can go here and do it is you can go in and select these blocks on the bottom, gold, silver, bronze, generic, and it will give the numbers to reflect, what the individually. So it's up to you. You can do it universally or you can do it individually. Okay. Now, so let's say I want to change 9 of these guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by the original format of 2 golds, 3 silvers, and 6 bronzes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some golds here. I'm going to change them to non-star or select none for a tier. Okay, bear with me for a moment. I'm just going through here. All I'm doing is changing the players from having a tier, a star, to nothing. And the reason why is because the game only recognizes 11 players. Okay? Okay, so now, let's see. I've got 2 golds, 3 silvers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 plus 3 equals 5 plus 6 equals 11. Okay, so now I have 11 players on the team. Okay, I'm sorry, 11 stars. Remember, I changed these into generics. Okay, now we're going to save it. Hit OK. Take the flash drive out. Let's go back to the Xbox. Alrighty. Options. Load. Load again. Flash drive. So as you can see, traditional, 2 golds, 3 silvers, 6 bronzes. But remember, it doesn't matter, which player you do it to, unless it's part of your plan. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. But just always remember, 11 stars, 10 or 11 stars. That's it. Alrighty. Now, you want to go to your teams because you want to know, okay, those guys that I changed into generics are already on my team. So you go to Manage, Depth Chart. Remember, we changed those 2 quarterbacks into generics. They're on their team. We changed Snowden into a generic. He's on your team. We changed Corky, Revan. We changed them to generics. They're on your team. Okay? So the guys are on your team. Okay? Ambush, we changed into a non-star or a generic. He's on your team. Okay? Just remember, the game recognizes 11 plus stars. If you do 9 or less, or you do 12 or more, the game is going to freeze. You'll have to get up, turn the Xbox on, load the game up, and go through all that hassle. So make sure that you have 10 or 11 stars. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, 2, 3, and 6, and once again, go back to your depth chart. You just want to double check your work. Okay, I won, make sure I got the right numbers, stars. Okay. All right, we're all set. Now we start the game. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Well, hello, everybody. It's time for some football here on the Raymond Bear. All right,
Dick. Another star on the team, and nothing happened. You hit start, and the game is not low, and the freeze up. You can tell what this further. That lets you know that you have 9 left.
Huggins sends it away to begin the game. Ford fields it way back at the 10. Tackled at the 27.
Hassim Ford tried to run it out, but the defense preferred that he stayed put, and they made their case pretty forcefully there.
So if you create a gold guy and you turn him into a generic,
the Dragons bring their offense on the field and will start the drive at their own 27-yard line.
Watch this.
Number 25 is at the 40, 45, 30, 25, 15, 5,
They gobble up a ton of yards on this play. This is a formidable rushing game, Dan.
They take the lead on that touchdown, Peter, and they have to be happy with their performance on that drive.
Yeah, great calls and great execution.
They're going to go for 2 here.
Julie, he was bronze. Remember, he has no star now.
Number 18 throws a heater, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion.
That's how you know that the game. Like 11 stars that are on.
Griffin boots it away.
Change to generics.
Perry fields the kickoff at the 7. Stopped at the 27.
Joe Perry tried to run it out, but the defense preferred that he stayed put, and they made their case pretty forcefully there.
The Gunslingers offense takes the field, and they will start at their own 27-yard line. McNeil will get the carry on first down and will end up losing a couple.
You see Greenwood over there with gold. Yeah, he's gold, but he has bronze numbers. Why? Same scenario, same thing.
Number 24 penetrates and makes the stop at the 24.
You're not changing along with it. Anything you're doing to change the star for a Hexen.
Brody lobs this one way over the middle, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
Questions? Put them in the comments section.
Nowhere.
Peace.